Welcome to Phrase by Phrase, where we are studying the Bible one phrase at a time, and today we are looking at James chapter 2, verse 4. James says, "Have you not made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil motives?" He's talking about when we show partiality from one person over another. He says, in doing that, have you not made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil motives? So James is asking this question actually in a rhetorical way. In other words, this is precisely what we're doing when we show personal favoritism to people. To make distinctions is in contrast to what he said in verse 1 when he talked about having faith in the Lord, holding our faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. So the two are counterproductive. They don't go together. You can't have faith in Jesus and make personal distinctions between people, because it goes against our understanding that we are all equally in need of salvation. I mean, no one is more or less deserving of grace than another. And you see, personal favoritism says something about our understanding of the gospel. It apportions value and merit to the human condition, and yet we know that we are all equal at the foot of the cross. And so to judge people based on their color or their economic status makes distinctions that says that one group needs grace more than another, which means that one group is better than another. And so the unspoken implication is that Christ doesn't need to rescue the better group as completely as the other group. But at that point, we have devalued the sacrifice of Christ. And certainly, people don't think that through. They're not thinking that way, so they don't realize what they're doing. I mean, rather, their motives are just purely selfish. And that's why James says they judge with evil motives. Their motives are to gain something from that person that they give preference to, because the guy with a gold ring can probably be a better connection for me that I might need down the road than the guy that's wearing the dirty clothes of a poor person. And so we're seeking personal advantage, and in this case, in James's case, it is financial. And so when we show favoritism or prejudice, we're really cutting at the heart of the gospel. And that is something to avoid at all costs, because Paul says if someone preaches a different gospel, and that's what favoritism is, it's a different gospel. And when someone preaches a different gospel, Paul says, let him be accursed. Let a curse come upon him. Let him be condemned. I mean, that is incredibly serious. That's violating the law of love. It's creating division, which is probably one of the most serious. It is the most serious sin, because the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And so when you create division, when you judge people and separate between people, that's a violation of the law of love, which is the most serious sin. And that's why Paul says that someone that preaches a different gospel, let him be accursed. That's something to think about. And so I hope you'll soberly process those things as we work through these verses and continue to study together, phrase by phrase.